Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy. I'm your can. Yeah, man, Mr. Alton Henry. And today, I would like to talk to you of another underrated film that's currently in theaters right now, which doesn't seem to be getting a lot of attention. But yeah, this might be one of my favorite films of the year. I'm still debating. I know we have this month. But I could tell you this is probably going to be up there. Bones and All, starring Timothy Chalamet, Taylor Russell, Mark Rylance, Andre Holland, and it's a story for those who don't know what this film is about. I've seen TV spots of it, and well, it's directed by Luca Guadagnino, Italian director, who made the Suspiria remake, which I really loved, by the way. I could see that film being controversial and divisive, which I loved. I love those reactions people get. Say, hey, why do you like this movie? Ah, it was divisive. I liked it, and you didn't like it. I kind of like the mixture of either love it or hate it. Makes it kind of interesting, and I could see this film kind of being the same way. It's a story to its core about a young woman named Maren who discovers or has been suppressing a unique trait of hers, who tries to travel across country, who happens to meet Timothy Chalamet's character, and they pretty much travel from one state to another across country to meet her mom. I'm vaguely telling you what the story, but it's more to it. If you watch the trailer and all that, I can tell you, she discovers or she's been suppressing her urge to eat people. She is a cannibal, and suddenly there's an accident where she accidentally bites someone or almost severs their finger by almost eating it. And her father, who's been taking care of her, realizes that he can no longer do that and pretty much say, "Girl, I've done all I can on your own," which is fucked up. But and it's based off a novel. I forgot. So she's on her own, trying to figure out the origins of why she has the thirsty people. And I'm gonna tell you, along the way, she meets two other guys, and they're known as eaters. People who have cannibalistic taste, and that's what they called her. That kind of, I would say, helps her try to figure out who she is and kind of makes a decision whether or not should she accept that part of herself or not. And you see that throughout the way. This is a road film. This is a travel buddy romantic horror movie, and I gotta be honest, I thought the romance of this film doesn't necessarily feel forced, but it feels like a way of just two characters reaching an understanding, and they kind of test the waters of the romance. But it gets sweet. It gets sweet in its romantic scenes. They don't overstretch it, but it's more about really someone looking for identity, and especially after finding something about herself she doesn't like and is very horrific, she tries to figure out a way to find some sort of truth to make amends of that. Timothy Chalamet, who I thought was good in here. I prefer his performance in Dune than this, but he was pretty cool playing in the movie set in the 80s, playing like a over kind of chill back rock band kind of like guy who pretty much uh, is accepting of his bizarre traits, and he has his, scars as well, just like Taylor Russell's character. And Mark Rylance, his character is quite odd. He plays a very unique character, but one you can kind of sympathize with, but one you can. I'm gonna just tell you, he's the antagonist of this film. He's the antagonist of this movie, in a way, where he's a character who's pretty much been lonely for dealing with his curse, being a eater. And I gotta tell you, this the cinematography was beautiful. The way that they were able to mend the genre of horror and romance was beautifully done, and I think that's rare for a film to try to mix genres like that, and you don't normally have a good balance of that. I actually found it very innovative. I believe that they've really found a good story here about just two people who've dealt with tragic events that it's also part of themselves, that are trying to find ways to cope with it and move on and accept their nature of what they are. Where they're not trying to change anybody, they're not trying to change themselves, they're trying to at least be aware and trying to adapt in a way. And I would say it's a beautiful thing to witness in this film. This film is beautiful. It has a beautiful message. It does have some, well, I think Suspiria was a little bit more graphicer and creative, but than this. But they do have some bloody scenes in here, and I've seen some movies where they get crazy. This film ain't. But I mean, it may be hard to stomach for a few scenes. Honestly, that I'm just being a little bit, what's the word, generous of just saying, you could kind of look away from certain parts. I mean, mostly it's just bloody. Um, like it gets bloody at a few scenes, but I ain't gonna lie to you, I've seen worse. But I thought this film was amazingly crafted, and I think Luca. I mean, I know this is his second horror film. I'm kind of looking forward for him to do another horror film to kind of see if he just three in a row like Jordan Peele, because right now the way he just with the way he tells his stories with horror, and I like the screenwriter David King and Mitch, who also wrote the Suspiria remake. I can tell you, if DVD is still going to be around, I definitely want to buy this on DVD. This is definitely a film you need to check out. I know this is Christmas. I know people ain't trying to watch a movie about cannibals right now, but I can tell you, yeah, I think this was a terrible time to release this movie. Um, During the holidays, you're gonna release a movie around the holidays about a romantic eating about people eating people. Romance. I think that was a bad decision. You know what? Yeah, I could see this movie not doing well. It's not doing well currently at the box office. I mean, it got like a November release, and now it's transitioning to the holidays. I have to be honest. Nobody's gonna watch a film during the holidays, especially your casual moviegoer, of seeing a story of cannibalism. I got to be honest with you. When I saw this movie last night, I loved it. I was the only one in that theater. They should have. I mean, I don't know how far of production they were. I think the film they finished it this year. I mean, and it takes a long time to edit. it takes a long time to edit, but I think I think they were trying to go for Oscar season. I think this film is Oscar worthy, and it should. I don't think it's going to get the enough recognition that it deserves, but just I don't think it was a good decision to release it near the holidays. Um, but hear me out. I do recommend this film if you're looking for a very original tale, or at least one that tries to be original. Is It was based off a novel and something completely different. I mean, this is not your everything everywhere all at once. This is completely just out there. Um, but it's a film that I think to a degree, despite its graphic violence and its subject matter, and I could see its subject matter being controversial to its heart, it does have a romantic kind of vibe to it there. You kind of just have to, get on roll with it in a way. But I got to be honest, this is probably my favorite new romance film I've seen. It's probably one of the best I've ever seen in my life. Um, that's just me though, but I highly recommend you check it out. Bones and all, have you seen it? Comment below, let me know if you have, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.